always get like
I know.
Well,
You're
I'm such a good person. It's
copy, but I'm way too lazy for that. So.
Yeah.
I want to, but
Yesterday.
so
Welcome back to the FanTEAsy Podcast, where two besties spill all the delicious tea on the books we read. I'm Callie, and my bestie is obviously Montana.
we are so excited to be here today. We are interviewing one of our favorite bookish shop owners, Victoria from Liv Co. It's going to be the best. I cannot wait
so
to bring
great.
her on and hear what all she has to say. But before we jump into that, Callie, what era are you in today?
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I am Tortured Poets Department, like through and through right now. I don't know what it is. She just drugged me back into the trenches with her. What era are you in?
I think I'm in Midnights right now.
Yes.
I'm just kind of feeling it, like karma.
Just vibing. Oh, karma. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I know. We're just,
I like it.
it's an Oliver vibe. We're great.
Yeah. Well, we're so excited to have Victoria on. So everyone, please welcome Victoria.
So we are here with Miss Victoria, the owner of Liv Co, one of our absolute favorite bookish merch shops. Hi, welcome to the podcast.
Welcome.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Yay.
We're
so
happy to
excited.
have you.
Yes, literally.
This is great. This is so great.
Yeah.
All right, Victoria, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so we did try this before, but I am 30 years old. I just turned 30 in May, and I am an INTP. I have a daughter. I have a puppy named Kratos. I call him a puppy. He's not super young anymore. He's pretty old. He's getting up there in age, but he'll always be my puppy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a blue nose pit, and we've had him for a long time, like longer than I've had my daughter. So, but yeah, I am a Slitherclaw, so I belong to Slytherin and Ravenclaw, like a good mix of them both. And when I did my little house, or what is it, the court test for ACOTAR, I got Dawn Court, which kind of tracks, I guess. But yeah,
Some
my
days.
daughter started kindergarten this year, and it's been crazy. And
your shop is booming. Everyone knows that Liv Co has
Those
the
pajamas,
jammies. They blew you up, which is phenomenal. But there's so much more in your shop, which we love, and that's what we're here to talk about. It's so exciting.
Yeah. Those pajamas was like, it's been a long journey to get to that point. So, but yeah, the pajamas were, I definitely think, like kind of a stepping off point when it came to like looking forward to the future for my shop and like expanding and growing. So now I'm like considering wholesale so that I might be able to do pajamas for other small shops can wholesale pajamas for me. So we're gonna see. I'm not making any promises, but
that is so exciting.
That's the goal.
That is phenomenal. So, yeah, seriously, that is, because they are to die for. The quality is amazing. Like, if you don't own a set, get all 10, please. But literally, like, wholesale as a small business owner, like, that is kind of the dream. Like, to have it be everywhere and in all the places, and everyone know Liv Co, which is amazing. I love that.
I know. Yeah. I'm so excited to look into that more. I'm just in the research phase right now, just looking to see, what I can do and how to go about doing it the right way. And there's a lot of steps and detail that goes into the planning process. So, but I am looking and I'm excited.
We're excited. This is amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
By the
way. So with Liv Co, what was the inspiration for the name? Like, how did you come up with that?
Okay, so that's actually a funny story. So Liv Co, actually, Liv is part of my last name. My last name is
Oh,
okay.
Livingston. So I wanted to do like a sort of play on live and then like the actual word live, like living life type of thing. So I called my shop Liv Co. After I had already been open for probably 6 months or so. But I changed my name because at first I was just like a Harry Potter like gift shop. Okay. Like when I originally opened, I didn't even have a website. I didn't have an Etsy. I think I was selling like on PayPal through Instagram DMs. I'm telling you, like humble beginnings, like seriously.
You got
And
to
I
start
had
somewhere.
probably like I started from 0 followers, had like got to like 40, and I was like, oh, I'm growing organically, like super excited just doing these. And I'm telling you, I put so much thought and detail and like time into crafting each of these like Harry Potter gift boxes. They were like, the box had like,
I love that.
Hogwarts like mail stamps, like owl mail like stamps, and like their name customized on it. And then like inside I had like Hogwarts house coasters and like a t-shirt that I would like vinyl print out on my Cricut and press. Like it was so much like time and effort for each box, but I ended up selling a good amount of those over the holiday season of, I think it was like 2020. And that was when I originally started. So, and my shop name was called the Hogwarts Rejects.
Oh, I love
I obviously
that.
couldn't keep the name because Hogwarts is trademarked. Warner Brothers is very good about licensing and copyright and stuff like that. So I eventually changed my name, and I opened an Etsy shop like in March, I think, of the next year, so 2021. And then I changed my name to Liv Co, and the rest is history.
And the rest is
I love
history.
that.
So for Christmas, I'm a size 1 Harry Potter box.
Same. Let us know how much they are.
Like,
that is phenomenal. Yes. Oh my gosh, I need one. That is, the customization is really what like makes it too. Like, all the little detail.
Yeah,
I love. I'm here for that.
It was definitely worth it, but super, super time consuming, and
for sure.
But obviously, like I wouldn't be able to do that now because of the volume. But back then, it was like the best like little like holiday hobby, I guess, in a sense.
Yeah.
Like I would craft boxes and
2022 being like the height of COVID and pandemic.
Yeah.
What else do you have to do?
Exactly. And that's what I did was I like leapt headfirst into having my shop. So that's how it started.
And now look where you're at. Yeah, it is. It's amazing.
So stick with it. If you start a shop, stick with it. See it through the good times and the bad. Don't give up.
Absolutely.
I'm coming on my 4-year mark in November. Like, so my shop will have been, at the 4-year mark in November. And I'm just like, I look back on so many times where I was like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. Like so many other people have so much more successful shops. Like I'm comparing myself. You have that imposter syndrome, but like I'm telling you, like everybody gets imposter syndrome. I'm telling you. And like even
we're struggling.
What? No.
And you look back, like just look back at like where you started and just realize how far you've come. And that it's so like humbling. And then you like I don't know, it's just like this epiphany thing. It
is.
Yeah.
I feel. Don't ever watch our
We've
first
been going
2
through
videos.
It, so
we're only 6 months in and we're like, what are we doing? It's fine. We could do it.
That first video was rough. It's okay.
You live and you learn and you go through it though. So you're better for it, for all the experiences and all the times you guys hit that record button. It's always
absolutely.
And
guys, this is why we love her. She's just like such a good person and so positive.
I know.
We needed that.
I do. This is the pep talk I needed this week. So thank you for being on our podcast.
Absolutely. Everyone should do that. It's all about
So what? Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what are your favorite fandoms that you've created merch for?
That is such a hard question. Like, you guys already
All of
know
them?
I'm gonna be like Sarah J. Maas, but you know, bookish, yeah, bookish stuff. I just love making bookish stuff. And when I first opened my shop, obviously it was Harry Potter stuff. But when I opened my Etsy, I think I did a Lord of the Rings collection first, like off rip.
Ooh,
I did Lord of the
nice.
Rings, and I don't know why my mind just like wanted to have Lord of the Rings merch, but when I first opened my shop on Etsy, it was that I Am No Man t-shirt with a sword.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's still like a bestseller for me to this day. So
I love that.
I'm always gonna. Every time I look back on the Lord of the Rings stuff, I'm like very proud of it. I feel like it's such an underrated fandom when it comes to like, I guess, bookish fandoms. I guess technically Lord of the Rings, like the fandom that we know it as of today, isn't like rooted in the books per se, but
yeah,
that's okay though.
But it still came from books, you know. So I like to kind of
it's still
include
Tolkien.
that.
It's definitely still Tolkien, and I think the people that probably read now probably have revisited those books from like watching the movies, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I remember reading The Hobbit in middle school, so you know.
Yep.
You gotta start somewhere.
Yep. See.
Yeah.
But that's just so cool because I feel like it's also, even though it's such a huge franchise, I feel like a lot of, especially bookish shops now, it's just so overlooked.
Yeah.
It's like not a common one to see
agree.
anymore.
And
yeah, for
I
sure.
think like, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, yeah, like when you're looking up, like the saturation for SJM is so high, and so it is nice to see like Bridgerton and Fourth Wing and Lord of the Rings, like taking the smaller One Dark Window. Like these are, I mean, we don't know, like
so cool.
Especially books that are just coming out. Like we don't know how big they're gonna be, but like the following is already there, so like you can capitalize on that for sure and start making merch for that because there isn't any yet. But yeah, SJM, it's everywhere. However, that's not to say that there's still not money there because obviously everyone wants it.
There's
so you
always
make a different
money
product.
there,
yeah, and you make a different product than what everyone has or sees, and there it is, you know.
Yes,
but I
agree. It's Lord of with all these individual like fandoms within the bookish community, I feel like bringing light to those smaller bookish fandoms that like maybe it is super popular and people have read it, but it's not talked about enough or people don't make merch for it enough. Because I feel like Bookstagram and like the bookish community on social media, I feel like it is a very like trendy based like
for sure
community. I mean, it's still community. We still, for the most part, love, respect, uplift each other, but it is kind of a competitive edge to it to where it's like, what's going to be the next big thing? What book is going to be the most popular? How do I ride the trend? How do I get ahead of it? That type of thing. I feel like it is important to kind of just like take a step back, you know, enjoy what you enjoy. Like, that's why I made this little like book witch collection where it's more of like a general bookish vibe, just to like kind of take a breather from the SJM stuff and be like, look, you can still be a bookish girly or a bookish person, and maybe you're not a fan of SJM. Maybe I feel like that's blasphemy to say, but maybe you're not the biggest fan of these super popular books, and maybe but you like to read still. Like, you know, there's room for everyone.
Absolutely.
And I think bringing light to those other little fandoms are key.
And kind of going with that of like creating merch that is just generic in a sense, like Book Witch, that can cover multiple different fandoms and different books. And so those are nice too, because then it's like, I can wear this and be an SJM girly, but I can also wear this and be a Harry Potter girly. Like,
exactly.
And I like that.
That's the point.
All inclusive.
It's all like, give me it all. I mean, really, I will never ever turn down book merch. Just ever. Like, I need it all. My bank
Literally.
account disagrees, but I need it all. Okay, on that note then, so from fandoms or just in general, so obviously like the I Am No Man is probably maybe a favorite of yours, but if you had to pick like one item that was like hands down this is the best one, what is your favorite?
Oh my goodness. It is so hard. Okay, I would probably say Harry Potter,
Yes.
Dramini.
Mhm.
Very
Preaching to the choir.
Yes.
so a fandom within a fandom.
Yes.
That's okay.
Fanfic counts.
Yeah,
That totally
so
counts.
yes, I love
100%.
creating SJM merch, obviously. I love doing that. But because I'm officially licensed with her, she does take a very big percentage of my profits. So
Right.
although I love giving, selling these pajama sets, and I'm really grateful and happy everybody loves them, that's why I'm like, okay, let me kind of do something different to where maybe I can keep all my money.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but yeah, so I have this general bookish collection, and then I do love making like Dramini merch because if you're clever enough, you can, make some really good merch that people will be able to tell that it's Dramini merch if you know type of stuff.
Yeah, it's
So,
subtle.
and like Dramini, as long as you don't use like Draco Malfoy or Hermione Granger in your designs, like for the most part, it's pretty easy in general to be able to make merch without having the licensing or copyright needed from Warner Brothers. So
Cool.
yeah. So I love doing that though.
Just started Manacled.
Ugh.
And I'm enjoying it. I am listening to it. I found an audiobook version of it. So it's the whole narrated book, but it's an audiobook, so it kind of counts. And then
On what are you listening to it on?
On Spotify. It's really good.
That's where I listen.
Yeah, and I like the narrators that are doing it. I think they're doing a really good job. But I maybe 3 chapters in, I just started it, and I need to probably keep listening. But again, tried to read Queen of Shadows, so one thing at a time. But I'm excited because I feel like I've been missing out on this whole fan fiction thing, and I'm like, this is the one that's been on my list for probably 3 years, so I need to get to it.
It's probably a really big, like, heavy thing for you to jump into fan fiction with, but
but I know where it's coming from, and even in the like blurb, it's like says, loosely from Handmaid's Tale. That's where this idea came from,
Right.
and I'm like, okay, well that, and I never did actually watch that. My sister did, and would tell me bits and pieces, and I was like, why are you torturing yourself? But if it's Harry Potter, like anything Harry Potter related, like I can look the other way. It's fine.
Yeah, no, I love Harry Potter fan fiction in and of itself because I feel like for the most part, at least a lot of the fan fiction that I've read that's been like Harry Potter based, they are really good authors. Like they're really good writers out there for Hermione fan fiction. And like specifically like Manacled, since it's one of the more popular Hermione fan fictions, there's a reason for that. Like the author, I forget her name. Is it Julie Soto? She's the one that wrote Manacled. I'm blanking on her name. Whatever her name is.
I don't think that's right, but
maybe Julie Soto wrote the Rights and Wrongs trilogy. I'm thinking of, like with the auction in it. Have you ever read that one, Hannah?
No, I wrote that one down though. We talked about it last time.
Okay,
I want to read that one.
That one is so good too. But yeah, no, I think like it's fan fiction is so overlooked because it's not real literature. But if you think about it, I feel like fan fiction is more real than like published works because these people are getting paid to write books, not diminishing how great of authors there are, obviously. But like fan fiction writers are doing it because they enjoy it and they want to give, share that enjoyment, obviously. So there's been some good fan fiction that I've read that I've just been like especially like the spicy ones.
Yes.
You're like, you should be getting paid for this. This should be published everywhere.
Why is this not a published work of art?
And it's crazy because both of those fan fiction authors that I just mentioned, I don't know why I'm blanking on the other girl's name that wrote Manacled, but her and Julie Soto are both getting
I'm looking
their works
You got it?
published.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I think if you're writing, obviously fan fiction's hard because you're like piggybacking off of what an author already has created. But that doesn't mean that those people writing those books shouldn't be credited. I think what I struggle with like Manacled or like any fan fiction is you can find the works easily, right, online and wherever. But I want a physical, nice copy of this book now. And that's what I hate.
I know. That's how I am. I really wanted like a bound copy of Manacled and like the entire Rights and Wrongs trilogy. And then like I started finding out like, oh, these people who are binding these fan fictions and then selling them, they don't have permission and they're profiting.
It's so messed up.
So I was like, oh, well, I guess I can't, get it anymore. So then I was like, maybe I can buy my own copy, but I'm way too lazy for that. So
yeah,
but
I want to, but
it's on my list of hobbies to learn. So when I get to that, we're gonna all have matching Manacled, beautiful bookbinded. It'll be great.
Awesome.
Eventually, and it'll be a gift. So there's no money exchange. I'm not doing any wrong. It's just for fun.
Exactly, it's for
disclaimer.
It should be. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm obsessed with Manacled and Hermione fanfiction. So I know we've lingered on this topic for a while, but
it's fine.
There's totally nothing wrong with that.
No.
It's literally our Instagram, or not Instagram, our TikTok DMs right now is Hermione and Death Eaters.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah.
I sent one to Montana yesterday.
They're so good.
They know what they're doing. And the husbands should be worried. They know what they're doing.
Facts.
Yeah. With the Mask King, like,
I know. We were literally just talking about this like last week. We're like, why is it not us? I'm like, it's because we're not there. That's why. That's the only reason it's not us.
Missing opportunity.
Because I mean, whoo-wee.
Yeah, I love that.
Whew. Anyway. So what is something that you potentially want to bring to your shop in the future?
Okay, so I have been working on, obviously I told you guys about wholesale. Yeah. But also I've been working on producing the Massiverse prints onto Kindle cases. So I'm collective gasp a moment.
It is a moment because I love my Kindle. It is my dearest, most prized possession, and I don't have. Well, I just need to upgrade my Kindle because I have a really old one. So let me know what you're going to carry, and then I'll get that one.
I'll probably carry Kindle cases for like all the generations just to be inclusive. So, but yes, I'm working on producing them right now with a manufacturer, and we're going to have some Kindle cases pretty soon. I don't know if it's going to be this year. It might be around the time the Fourth Wing pajamas are going.
That's okay.
Stock. So a couple months, maybe this year. I have no idea, but I'm excited. Yes. So
I will literally buy a Kindle just for this.
Will you share sneak previews when you get samples?
Oh, with you guys? Absolutely.
Yes.
Yay. Can't wait.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
I know. Callie's been telling me forever and ever, you need to buy a Kindle. I'm like, I know I do. Yeah. But I'm such a physical book person. And I've been like, I should really get a Kindle. And now I'm like, I guess I have to get a Kindle.
I guess I have to now.
I don't have a Kindle either. So I'm right there with you, Montana. I do not have a Kindle. But I was looking into getting one too because of all the like Kindle Unlimited books that people
exactly
about. So I'm like, might be worth it. Definitely might be worth it.
So how did you creating the patterns for like the Massverse PJs and Fourth Wing PJs, like where were you pulling inspiration for those? Obviously directly from the books, but like did that take you a while to go through that process of like, this is going to be included, this isn't going to be?
Okay, so when I was creating the patterns, I started with ACOTAR. So it was last Christmas, and I think I had just launched like the winter court wall kit. So I was feeling like
So
very
good.
like solstice vibes. And I think, like, you know, I was like very inspired by Frost and Starlight and like the snowball fight and like just like the coziness and the like hominess, I guess, that the Night Court was presented in that book.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know. I don't know. I think Frost and Starlight, honestly, was the biggest inspiration behind the Court of Dreams pajama pattern. I don't know why I can't speak. But yeah, so I really, yeah, it was definitely that, because it was, yeah, in the winter time and right after the winter court wall kit. I was very in my like winter ACOTAR aesthetic.
Cozy
last
vibes.
Yeah, the
yes.
cozy ACOTAR vibes, like Illyrian cabin type stuff. So when I sat down to design it, it was like the first quote I even put on there, I think, was a gift, all of it. So I ended up kind of working around that, including little nods here and there to the series as a whole.
So you said you like, funny because I'm listening to the graphic audio of Frost and Starlight right now, so I'm like, I'm feeling that vibe. But the PJs, the blankets, the phone cases, all that, it also kind of gives me like tattoo vibes too.
Yes.
I don't know. It's like flash art, you know, like that's just
Yes.
what I always think when I see these. I'm like, they're just so cute. And
yes.
so what gave you, like, what were you pulling inspo from for our Terracin PJs then?
Honestly, it was just kind of like a snowball effect of the ACOTAR pajamas. So
Yeah.
I designed those pajamas. I opened pre-orders for them. It was like, when I opened pre-orders, we were already in December, I think. So I marketed it as like New Year's, like sleepover vibes. I don't know. So, because I was like, well, they're not going to get it in time for Christmas. So when I did the ACOTAR, it was around that time. And then people were like, Throne of Glass next. And initially I hadn't planned on doing it. But yeah, so I just kind of snowballed off of the hype of the ACOTAR sets. And then I did a Throne of Glass set. And then I remember like marketing on TikTok quite a bit for the pants sets specifically. And when I did the Throne of Glass set, it like picked up a lot of traction on TikTok specifically. And then people wanted the Throne of Glass pajamas. I'd say those ones, even to this day, are the best sellers out of all three sets. So yeah, Throne of Glass is my top seller, and then
rightfully
ACOTAR.
So
yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It's the biggest series. It's been out the longest. I know a lot of people not prefer Throne of Glass over her other series, but more just like treasure it more, I feel.
Yeah.
So I understand the hype, and I was like, yeah, I definitely have to do Throne of Glass. And then after Throne of Glass, naturally, I was like, let's move into Crescent City. And I think I did Crescent City around February with the pant sets. And then I moved on to short sets for the summer, and those blew up. I did one video on TikTok, and it wasn't even a video. It was like one of those slideshow things. And the pictures were from my manufacturer of the satin short sets. And I had just put like text over the pictures like, POV, you asked for SJM satin short sets, you know, just something simple. And yeah, people went nuts. And
I love that.
I do.
And I'm so happy that like people are enjoying them so much. And I'm really excited to be able to, you know, be able to offer wholesale, hopefully. So that's like, you know, just a really, really big dream of mine right now. And it's actually really funny because, like, you know, the scene in The Office where Michael
I've had this dream since lunch.
Yeah,
that's exactly what my head went. I'm like, wait, I don't know if she watches The Office.
The exact like thing that like rolled through my head. Like I'm sitting here just like doing something on my laptop, and then I was just thinking, and I'm like, I should offer wholesale. And then I'm talking to Jerry about it. He's like, okay, well, what about this and this and this? And he's asking all these questions and finances, and I'm like, listen, I've had this dream since lunch, and I'm not giving up on it now.
I'm not giving up on it.
Yeah, that's just what it was.
Yes.
The moment you said I've had this dream, I was like, The Office. I'm like, shoot, I don't know if she's like an Office girl or not, but Callie and I, like,
absolutely.
We speak
through and through
fluent Office
quotes.
So
okay, now I know I can do that, so that's great.
Yes.
Welcome to the club.
So what are your, like, some of your favorite books, some of your favorite authors? Like, what are you into in this moment?
Okay, I'm glad he didn't say like overall, because obviously
that's hard. It's too hard.
I'm tired of answering Sarah J. Maas. Okay,
We need other authors in there. Jeez.
Right, I know. Like, I wish I was like one of those readers that like discovered like all these new authors and indie authors and stuff like that. But most of the time, I just go to Book Talk for my recs. Just so I can find new things that maybe not a lot of people are talking about. But even so, obviously, I really like very popular authors. Like, I love Carissa Broadbent.
Yeah.
Like, I have, oh my gosh, I have to show you her other series though. I don't know if you guys have seen, but like
Daughter of No Worlds.
They are gorgeous.
They're so gorgeous.
I'm obsessed with the art on these covers.
Same.
Here's mine.
It's so beautiful. And yeah, so I'm obsessed with those covers for that trilogy. And then I don't know, I love her writing style. It's really hard for me because I'm super picky when it comes to prose style and like writing style. Like, I'm going to be kind of mean and call out The Veiled Kingdom on here. I don't know if you guys have read that book, but
not yet.
My friend read it. Like, I read it and then I let my friend borrow it. She really, really liked it. Not so much. Okay, so it's one of those like spice over plot books, and I don't have an issue with that, but I just feel like it was just such, personally, it was a missed opportunity to like world build, because she could have provided us with so much more world building and information about the magic system, because that was what I was like craving while I was reading the book. And I was like, oh, I want to know more about this, but she didn't give us anything. She gave us crumbs. And instead the entire like plot and focus was on the main couple and like the smut, and that's fine. That's fine.
But it's just not what you were looking for.
But it wasn't what I was looking for.
Well, and I feel like you turn to like contemporary romance for that kind of thing, and not like a fantasy book. Not to say that like romantasy isn't a genre in itself, but they're fantasy with romance. Yes.
Yeah. It's a different genre when you put spice over plot. So like I feel like there should be in a even subgenre, I guess, to romantasy, if you're going to, make spice the main focus of the book. There were trigger warnings, so I did, appreciate that. But I didn't realize that those trigger warnings meant it was mostly just smut, that. Like I was like, there's just feel like of dark romance in here, but it's like pretty much heavily smut focused, which is, like I said, it's fine. But yeah, I'm a fantasy romantasy girly, so I do love having a good world building system, a good magic system, and like a really good romance arc as well. So I love Carissa Broadbent. I love Danielle Jensen. So she wrote the Bridge Kingdom it was a duology. Now she's added a lot more books to that duology. And she also wrote Fate Inked in Blood. Hold on. Where is it?
Oh, I have that one sitting up here too.
Yeah. So yeah, that one I just read that one and finished last month, I think. So I loved it though. She's a great author. And then Rachel Gillig, she wrote One Dark Window. And most recently, probably my most recent favorite would be Powerless by Lauren Roberts. So those are like very well known books, though, I feel. So sorry I can't give you any like lesser known, right?
No, that was fantastic.
Yeah, it's your opinion. You know, we asked you what books you're jabbing with, and that's what you answered. Yeah. And I love that. I feel like we had a spice over plot when we started the podcast, Montana.
I talk about it, Callie. We love spicy books, okay?
I do. I really do. But only
the book
if
we
they're
started with was
what?
No, it was not great. Hooked.
We started with Hooked, the Emily McIntyre
Oh
book.
my God, wait. Stop. That's such a huge coincidence because me too. Did you like it?
I think we rated it like 3. Being nice. I was like, 3 was being generous.
Yeah, I gave it 2, and I was like, I don't even think it deserves a 2, but there you go.
It was really hard, and then
I should find our text when we were both reading it.
No, we should. Well, if you want our really honest opinions, it's the first episode of our podcast, which I think is what was so difficult about it, because Montana sent me the book and like wrote the best note in it, like, let's do this, let's start the podcast, like, we're gonna do it. We'll start with this book. So we're like, yes, hyped. And then we read this book and we're like, do we scrap this? Do we even post this? I mean, and that sounds horrible. Like, but it was so spicy. The plot was garbage. The ending was so rushed. Like, there was just so much that the book had so much potential, and it just went down the drain.
Tell me how you really feel.
Sorry.
My friend, she read, she loves Emily McIntyre, okay? The reason why is because she wasn't a reader before, like, I think February this year. So I bought her the entire ACOTAR series for her birthday and was like, read these. You're going to love them. She read them, and then she got sucked into the bookish community, right? So she's got all these book recs. And then she was interested in dark romance. So I lent her my copy of Hooked, which I had read, but I did not like. And I was like, well, you're into like dark romance right now. Maybe you'll like it, but I don't think so. She ended up reading it and she was like, yeah, it was good. But then she read like all the rest of Emily McIntyre's books. So she is a huge fan of Emily McIntyre, and she swears to me, she's like, listen, Hooked is probably the worst book she's written. And she was like,
so funny.
All of these are she's like, these are so good. And she said that I would personally like Scarred because she said it's kind of like a period romance.
Yeah, it's Hamlet.
Yeah. So she was like,
and I could agree. Like, we never did continue on with the series or any other Emily McIntyre books, and that's not doing it justice. Like, you should always give an author maybe I shouldn't say that. Maybe I don't know, is one like enough?
I feel like that is like it's an entire book that you're reading, and I could have DNF'd it, but I didn't. Like, I pushed through it and read it because I had already spent money on it. So you know, but
I will not waste this $11.
Exactly, I'm going to finish it regardless.
I will just waste 20 hours of my life instead.
Exactly. But that's how you know, like, what your preference is. And not saying that there's anything wrong with somebody really loving those books or that author, which I actually get to meet her at the signing in November with Carissa Broadbent. So I'm super
that's exciting.
Yeah. She seems like a really, really nice person.
Yes.
Truly. Like, all the TikTok drama with Hexed and the other girl who was writing Little Mermaid retelling, if you've seen that.
Yeah.
Like, she was so nice. She's like, you know what? I'm writing it. You're writing it. That's okay.
It's
other
fine.
people will write it too.
There's nothing new under the sun. And I feel like Book Talk completely forgets that. I feel like
100%.
Book Talk holds authors to an impossibly high standard of coming up with these completely brand new ideas. That's like, it's not going to happen. Like, most of the time people are pulling inspiration from somewhere, and that's okay, because there truly is nothing new under the sun, and it's just the author's job to tell the story in the best way that they know how and that they want to tell.
100%.
So
people have been writing books for hundreds of years, so like someone probably had a similar idea at some point.
Overlap, exactly.
Yes,
exactly.
Okay, so aside from wholesale, what are some other maybe goals that you have for your shop?
Okay, so the goal is always going to be expansion, obviously. Right now it's just me like doing it. I don't know if like when or if I'll be able to have like employees to help or anything like that. So that's why I'm looking more into wholesale. That way I can kind of have like delegated work, like delegated help in a sense, of like people being able to like sell my like pajamas to everybody, like people that I can't reach myself. So like that is a big step, and like, and also expanding the shop. Like I haven't really like voiced this like out loud officially, but like I'm gonna try to manifest it here on the podcast.
Yay.
But like I
do it.
Manifesting.
Here we go. I really am looking into like adding in another like aspect of Liv Co and doing events, like maybe like bookish meetups,
do it,
possibly balls type of thing. So, but yeah, I've just kind of been dipping my toe in some different ideas and different things of expanding and building a bigger community and a wider outreach. So yeah, I'm very excited for the future. And I honestly, it's been a while that I have been excited, like for the future, at least for my business, because I was in a rut for a few years, like kind of just going from day to day, designing collections, not really selling them that much. Pajama sets are wonderful, but like I feel like I'm kind of stagnant now because I've made pajama sets and then I sell them, and then it's like, what do I do now? You know? Oh, sell them again. Like, you know, what do I do?
Yeah, continual income. Right.
Yeah. So it's just nice to kind of like think of new things, switch it up a little bit, include different elements and aspects into your business to kind of bring in a freshness, I guess. So yeah, that's my goal. But
I love that.
Yeah,
well,
that's a good goal
you have
to have.
bookish events, and we will do everything we can to be there, even living in different states.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
We're all about it, and we're all like about supporting the best people.
Oh, yeah, so sweet. And I feel like everybody who, because a lot of us are friends solely on social media, like a lot of us met through social media. A lot of us haven't even been able to meet in real life, but like talk almost daily on social media. And we have like Bookstagram and Book Talk to thank for that. So like obviously like hosting meetups or something would be not only beneficial to me, but like beneficial to everybody involved, because you're getting to see your friends and you're getting to have fun and do bookish things that like aren't readily available like every day to you. So, and it's just nice to be able to bask in that glory for a little bit, like, you know, the bookish world and escape reality, so to speak.
It's an ambiance where everyone there is there for a very specific reason. We all like the same things, so there's no judgment. You're not going to feel uncomfortable. It's like you and I had talked before we officially met at the ball, but now I'm like, oh my gosh, no, we actually met. We hung out. We're besties. This is great. And it's just like, it really brings people together.
It really does. It's so
Don't talk
sweet.
About the ball I wasn't at.
2 weeks, Kelly. 2 weeks and you'll be at one.
I know, but I should have been
That's
at
gonna
that
be fun
one.
Though.
Yeah,
I know.
I want to go to another ball too, because it was fun, or some sort of bookish event.
I think my next bookish event, I want to do like a bookish retreat. I think that would be really fun. Just like very low key, like in the mountains, just would be the vibe. Mm-hmm.
Wait, can I tell
Do you
you
want
guys
to come?
about the bookish retreat?
Yeah. Yes, please.
Yes, please tell us.
There is and I can send you guys the link on Instagram too. I'll send it to the FanTEAsy page. But there is an event happening over May next year and over September next year. And it's in the Blue Ridge Mountains though. So it's like all the way down here in the South. So it's like, I think a camp in Georgia. But I'll be a vendor at the one in September, but it's like in the mountains and it's like a whole camp thing, like a cabin, like cabin rentals. And like, it's like being hosted like at a like campground or something like that.
That's so cool.
But it's like, there's like hotel rooms and stuff. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a retreat, I guess. I don't know.
Yes.
That's where it's being hosted. There's gonna be like archery, and then there's gonna be like a market day. There's gonna be like performances and stuff like that. So I'll send you guys the link though, so you can look into it.
Yeah, that's super fun.
Yeah,
please do.
Please do.
Well, that is all that we had. I know you have to get going, but thank you so much for coming on. And truly, it was so wonderful just to like catch up with you and talk and hear all the positive words that you didn't know we needed to hear today, but we really needed that. So.
I'm really glad. I'm so happy I got to talk to you guys and just chat bookish stuff with you.
Always.
And just be with friends and have a good conversation. I love it.
Adult conversation.
Well,
yeah, literally.
Well, we loved it. We love you guys. Please go check out Victoria's shop. Her @ is Hello Liv Co. It's seriously the best. And you can see here, like, you have such a wonderful shop owner and creator. So go support small businesses, especially
beautiful human that you need to go support, because seriously, if you were listening at all, gem of a human. Gem of a human.
You guys are
absolutely.
So make me cry.
I'm already ready to cry.
Literally, I'm tearing up.
Oh, thank you, Victoria. Thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Anytime. Seriously.
Literally.
We love you lots, and we will definitely chat soon.
Okay.